Hello sweethearts, I'm Exexion Fox, and tell you the story about how furries become what they are now. Now I've been a furry for 4 years now, and during those years I've learned a lot of fascinating things about the history of furries. So I want to give you whole story about how furries were born. And would also hope this will be a good way for all of you to learn about furries in general. So here we go. The story of furries begins in the year 1970s. Now it's worth noting that furries didn't create anthropomorphic animals. Anthropomorphic animals has been around for centuries. It even goes far back to our great ancestors. And anthropomorphic animals characters were extremely popular with cartoons and comics during the 1900s. So in the beginning, people started making comics with their own anthropomorphic characters in them. And a lot of it was very sexual themed, if you know what I mean, hee. But not all of it was though, most of it was just silly adventures and hijinks. But then, in 1976, one comic came and changed everything. And that comic was called Vuti. This was the first time they gave these comics an actual name. And no, it wasn't furry, it was called Funny Animals. I know, I was just as shocked as you all are. So anyways, the Vuti comic was a smashing hit in comic book conventions, and it's where it all started to take off. As the years went by, more and more funny animal comics were created. And then in the year 1989, that's when everything changed forever. The very first convention was formed, and it was called Further Confusion. Not only that, they decided to change the name from Funny Animals to Furry instead. In this convention, you didn't just buy comics. This is also where the first furry party took place as well. This was undoubtedly the biggest year of furries history, and without it, I don't think furries would have been here today. Fast forward into the 1990s. Not much really changed, although this was the year people started to create their own animal costume of their own persona. Then we moved to the 2000s. And this is where the world finally started to notice furries, and not in a good way. It all began with the infamous CSI episode that centered around furries aired on TV, and that episode gave furries a massive spotlight, and not a good one. They portrayed furries as nothing but sexual praved weirdos. Not to say they're people that into that kind of stuff. But the point is, it's not all about that. So needless to say, this gave furries a bad name. And it still does to this day. Enough about that now, let's move on to the 2010s. This is where the whole world knew about furries at this point with YouTube and Facebook. Furries started making dance videos and making artwork of their personas for millions of people to see. And the rest you can is history, folks. So that's the story about furries. I hope that you enjoyed it. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Take care.